What? What? What?
What, man?
What? What?
It was like KKK guys. Get
Bullshit.
It was totally guys in hoods. I swear to fucking Christ.
The scene you just saw was actually one of the 9 hours of deleted scenes that this movie has. I hope I do not get in trouble for this, so I picked one scene and I'm not gonna show you more because these are fan edits, and I've got 3 of them, which are A, B, C one, each 2 hours and 59 minutes, and the original theatrical cut is like an hour and 27 minutes, and the cat you saw is Salem. He was irritated, sorry. Now, this is not is a review, but there's also an opinion based where they're going with this again. Well, I love subgenre slasher movies. Although my 2 favorite horror movies is 1978 Halloween, and I actually include Halloween 2 with that. I know, it's not directed by John Carpenter, produced I guess, and written, but you heard the saying 2 cooks in the kitchen? With Rick Rosenthal, who made Resurrection, Halloween Resurrection. Now, I met Brad Loree. He played Michael Myers, swell guy. He wasn't an actor. He said, I was paid a shit ton of money, so, and good guy. Got an autograph and all. My other favorite is The Thing. I'm a big John Carpenter fan. That's already, if that's not clear, from 1982, of course. Actually, I can't say one is the better. No, really, they're 10 out of 10. Best ever, in my opinion. Now, second favorite is found footage. A lot of people would say, "Oh, found footage, what the fuck?" No, you gotta. There's a fandom behind it, a growing fandom, and I think the Blair Witch is the top of the bill. Not the first one, but a top of the bill. If in telling story, it's a slow burn, but it gets, in my opinion, creepier and creepier while it goes. And there's so much mystery about it. Not only the story, but all those deleted scenes around it. 9 hours, 9 hours, yeah, basically, because every cut that I have, let's say that 8 hours, is an hour and 32 minutes longer. It's longer actually than the original movie. And also, that person, I'm not going to say who, I hope I don't get in trouble, but that everything is away, but I'm guessing you can find these. You do have the alternative endings. If you don't know the endings, I'll put a clip right later on in the video. Multiple scenes in the end that there's pretty much a witch involved, and there was actually a witch involved. The people that don't know because they had, but again, right a little while later. Okay, so he made the longest ultimate cut of the Blair Witch, a 3 hour and 14 minutes version. Now, I have to say, there were cool scenes in there, but you had a lot of these black and white still image scenes, but some were fun. Some were just trees and a bird and a babbling brook. So yeah, but there are a few differences in, like, the first moment when the witch, I guess, they hear the baby sounds and then they are clapping against the tent and they're running out. When Heather yells, so everything is now out of Heather's POV instead of, I think it was Mike or Josh in the back. So we see Heather's POV in front of her running, not Mike. Okay? She actually saw the witch when she yells, "Fuck! What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?" That's this scene. It's not the deleted scene, by the way. Or the alternate scene. Alright? She actually saw a guy, no, a witch pretend. They didn't tell them. They didn't tell them a lot. They said, notes on a tree, here's what's gonna happen. Everything is almost improv. They got notes, but you know, it's cool just what they did and how they acted. It was so real. Now, there was a guy, a local apparently, paid $500 to pretend to be a witch, basically, with his white long johns, so going over pickets, and it would look like that would be the scene. A white humanoid figure, which you can't really extend, but you can see it's a human figure in some kind of white guard rope, like floating, a little bit floating over the pickets, but he's actually going through the pickets. It's a he, and it's long johns. So that would confirm that there's a witch. But he's, even if there wasn't a witch, it's still, I mean, you know, supernatural shit. If what's the most important stuff you need? A map or a compass? In my opinion, a compass. If you know your car is parked in the south, you go south. You may not come directly to your car, but somewhere on the road at least. You had fishermen in the beginning, so no, she was basically, the witch was basically alternating time in the forest, and she was making a time loop. But it was also a deleted scene. There were scenes that I wished they didn't cut out, but also one that I it was good that they cut it out. The C cut, the last cut is, in my opinion, the best one. This shows more of Heather's home, the way towards Burkittsville, the witch, the Blair Witch, the project, the forest, the Black Hills Forest. What was it? And they show there were two scenes in there that I think they really should have kept in. This is going to be a longer review for people who don't like the Blair Witch. This is for Blair Witch fans, for people who want to know. They basically, there is a scene in there that's almost at the end. It's basically the last day scene between Mike and Heather. Josh is already out of the picture, and he's basically, Mike is having a breakdown, crying and hugging Heather on a tent that's already folded, but he's sitting on the, and he's, why us, why us? He knows you're gonna die. And then the second one is a confession one. You know, the confession one is actually based on, basically on the cover of the DVD, where Heather, if, you know, the snot is coming out of Heather's nose. She actually didn't know this was happening. But the confession is actually longer than you think. That's the first thing. She admits that she knew more about that forest and the legend that was going on. So she said at some point, and I think this is also delayed. I'm not actually. I don't know which scenes are in the theatrical cut anymore, because I see all these, and they're in good quality too, by the way. What they call in, I think, French Chapeau, which is great, of that fan film director. Oh my God! Now, she says, I knew more about it, and that something was going on here. But if I stole the guys, they didn't want to come on this project, and it's my fault. I kept pressing on, and it's all because of me, and this and that. So she's really guilty over herself. Not only her parents, her family, her maybe boyfriend in the end, I don't know, and them two, the Mike and Josh. So that was weird, right? And then you have this beautiful confession tape of Mike, and it basically goes like this: to all my friends and family, and to my parents, I love you. You are so, you raise a good boy. And he's laughing then, but with like crying eyes. To my girlfriend, you know who you are. I hope you will be happy and have a husband and kids. No, I'll be always with you. And then to his friends because he was in college. He was drinking a lot with friends. When you go out, think one of those seats is me, and this is gonna be the night that I'll die. I am going to lie down now, in a smile like this, yeah. And then you hear Heather sing something cool. If I die, I'll die filming. So that was something I really wanted in the original one. So tell me if in the comments if you would have seen that, of course, but if you wanted that in the original cut or not. So that scene that I showed you is actually a little bit about, they say it's a clan town, which is also a deleted scene, is when Josh, and this is between Coffin Rock and then going towards those stones, and there was already an irritation there going on, but Josh seems to see three people, KKKs things, walking, and there was a Blair Witch cult, hippie cult, they said, that basically went in the woods to hail the Blair Witch, Ellie Kettle, or well, I mean, that's the only name, and it's my favorite found footage movie that I didn't remember. Now you do have the alternative endings. I'm guessing a lot of people know they're on YouTube. You can find them. I don't think it's a need to put them on here. There are 4 endings, like Mike being crucified on a giant Blair Witch, giant stick figure, Mike hanged between a bunch of stick figures. Always the same ending for Heather, like Clonk. There's one where Heather you hear a bonk, which Heather sounds, and then you hear the clunk of the camera falling. So you hear Heather. That's something that you don't see. And then there's one, and that would say a lot of people think, oh no, it's Josh and Mike were killers. And you see Mike laughing at her, like Smile, like that movie. And then with these creepy eyes and the smile. And my opinion is what happened is the C version that I said is a lot more looking at Josh, his insanity, going fucking crazy. There's a scene where he jumps in the creek, and that's after the attack scene that his shit is all over blue goo, He's obviously being honed in by the witch, like Rustin Parr was, the guy who killed the Burkittsville 7. You can see the faux documentary of it. He killed 7 kids, one standing in the corner because he couldn't face them, and one on a table or something, killing them. Pretty cruel shit. But he did that because he heard somebody talking to him, a woman's voice, a shrill voice. And of course, the ending is we see Mike standing in the corner. And I think Josh was the one who knocked Heather out, being the new Rustin Parr, basically. So I'm not saying there's no witch, there is a witch, but he basically... There's also a cut where you hear Josh a lot louder, hearing what he's saying. So I think that was actually Josh yelling at the last scene in the house, and Mike here is actually trolling them or whatever you can, leading them towards the cellar. And he never could have put Mike in that corner because Mike apparently, to weight and height, was the biggest and not the largest, but that was Josh. But Josh was the skinniest one, and Mike was the heaviest one. So I don't see him doing that so fast and just staying there. So I'm guessing with help of the witch, he standing there catatonic like. And there's this wrongs that I wanted to see, that a scene that was good that they cut it out. Josh, like I said, the C cut has a lot about Josh, his descent into madness, and then the other's descent into despair. Josh at some point he's standing there. That was even before the attack with the hands, and he says, "I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna stay here." There's also the lead scene that you don't see, that he crawls up a tree like a monkey all the way to the top. He can't see shit, of course. How can you see even 2 miles over the forest? You can't see. That's all just trees. And he says, "I'm gonna stay here. You have the red jackets that we have. We are gonna make. I'm gonna put them everywhere, and then you. I'm gonna make." And that's now. Here comes the kicker. You hear planes constantly going over them. Now, of course, it was meant to be isolated, right? And if the witch was actually controlling that force in a loop, then how do these planes get there? Did they, did the witch no, it were actual planes they filmed. And he says, "You know, I'm improving, and I have to say that's good work on the spot. You know what? I'm gonna reach one of these planes." And then Mike says, "These fucking planes are perfect. They're high. How are you gonna do that? Smoke signals. What the fuck? You can't even light a fucking fire without lighter fuel." "No, I can't. No, I can." Okay. So that's, but yeah, that scene, like I said, when he's jumping in the creek, he has the knife of Heather. He's cursing, and he sees Heather, and he says, "You fucking bitch, I'm gonna kill you." And he's running after her in the water, and she go, "What?" She's running away after Mike, and Mike says, "Just let him be." So those indicators, right? Now, here I'm gonna stop. Now, we hear there's got a reboot now coming along, right? Oh man, oh fucking hell! And mark my words, they're gonna do that. The same shit with Jaws from 1975 with Quint and Hooper and Brody and the Orca. Fuck that shit. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see these reboot. The 2016 version was already weird and stupid, and the sequel that we got, the what was it? I don't even know the title anymore. Of that, I've seen it once. Fuck. And reboot. Do you know what they were planning to do? And I know this. You can look it up. But they were always cock blocked. Sanchez and Merrick, the two directors, the creators. They wanted to make a TV series, like a season, one season, of what happened, and that starts immediately after, I'm guessing found footage, immediately after the events of 1998, because the story is in 1998, right? And the movie is, of course, from 99. That would just go from there, and more of the lore, maybe Burkittsville, a clan town. The sheriff already said in one of these faux pas documentaries that he's actually, I did my best, and a lot of people blame him, you know, and it was shut down again. Then he said, "Okay, I'll make a movie, direct sequel too, also direct." Yeah, why not? But was it Lionsgate or Blumhouse? I'm not sure who's now involved. Blumhouse is the meddler of everything. They said, "Nah, we're gonna reboot it. You just fuck off." Oh no. It's like always getting their fucking hands on lightning in a fucking bottle and then rebooting that shit. That's a big no-no. That's like they're gonna do that with Jaws. Mark my fucking words. They did that with Halloween now, with the trilogy, just retconning everything. Sarah Connor, Laurie Strode. Fuck that shit. I do not like the trilogy. Not even the 2018 version, which was somehow better because of just Carpenter's soundtrack. That was it. But that's not the reason. Oh, sorry. I get a little bit angry when I hear this. So apparently there's a YouTube guy, and I don't know who it is. It's a while back. That's why. I heard that it was true, that he knows Sanchez and Merrick. Now it can be a bullshitter, I don't know. That there was a pilot made of that TV series. Yeah, and that they could have that he had the opportunity to see it, and he said, oh man, I'm a big." And you could see he had merch of Blair Witch, everything. I got a tear in my eye when I saw that. But he said it directly starts, and he said not anymore. And actually, Sanchez has an Instagram account, which he apparently, according to AI, but I know AI can be a load of shit too. Um, that he frequently follows and does answer a few people depending on what they're answering for. And I actually added him and tried to contact him to pretty basically show me a copy of that pilot, if there is a pilot. Oh man, I really want to see that. I already seen the direct, the full cuts. Now I want to see that. Jesus fucking Christ! But yeah, who knows? Maybe it will be there one time. It will be probably an episode of 10 minutes, or maybe 30 minutes, or 20 minutes, whatever. Probably found footage with that Sanchez's style, you know, with that Sasquatch movie that a lot of people like. I'm okay because I'm not a Sasquatch fan, and it's already been done so many times, ripped off. And the same with I've seen another one that's from 2016. Yeah, a new one, and basically the same combination as Grave Encounters, basically, and a little bit Paranormal Activity, with a slasher element to it, with a clown. I like it because of a clown. I always think clowns are creepy. So okay, now that being said, they're gonna fuck it up. Yeah, but maybe it's better than the 2016 version. But I don't think so. But hey, hope, right? In any way, I wanted to tell you about those uncut versions. You can find them maybe on the Google or somewhere else. Maybe a few scenes on YouTube here and there, but they're out there. And but I can't tell you. Sorry. But in any case, I hope you enjoyed this video for the Blair Witch fucking fan. This flies getting in here because of doors open. I hope you guys enjoyed this fucking video, and see you next time. Ciao. Fucking fly.